Hey everyone, welcome to the Dark Confidants. I'm Corey.
And I'm Marcus, and today we're doing a deck tag featuring Trelasarra, Moondancer.
Yeah, after our Voltron themed set of games, we had a lot of interest in the deck, so we decided to do a deck tag video. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Marcus here and get into the deck list.
This is Trelasarra Moondancer. She's a 2-mana, 1 green, 1 white for a 2/2 body. She's a legendary creature elf cleric that reads, whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Trelasarra Moondancer and scry 1. This creature is able to grow quickly with life gain triggers and is able to sculpt the top of your deck with its scry ability. Another creature that will be also helping us in this is the Celestial Unicorn. It also reads, whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Celestial Unicorn. 3 mana for a 3/2 body. Now let's get into what makes Trelasarra so good. There are numerous different ways to gain life in this deck. There are the Soul Sister package whenever a creature enters the battlefield, either on your opponent's side of the field or your side of the field. There are activated abilities with Pristine Talisman, Soul Mender, Well-Wisher, as well as landfall triggers, as well as constellation triggers and artifacts. Once you have your life gain engine online and Trelasarra is growing, it's going to become a target very quickly. So also in this deck you have numerous sources of protection, indestructible, and hexproof to make sure Trelasarra doesn't die. The final piece of the deck is ensuring that you can actually deliver the damage that you're building up with Trelasarra's power. The easiest way to do this is by giving your creature Trample. My personal favorite is Armadillo Cloak, as it gives it Trample, a buff of +2/+2, and it also gives it pseudo lifelink, where every time it deals damage you gain that much life. Another way of ensuring Trelasarra deals combat damage is by giving it protection from a color that your opponent is using as blockers, thus giving it pseudo unblockable. In the deck, there's also additional pieces to add more power to Trelasarra through effects of checking to see if it has a 1/1 counter, which if you're gaining life it will, to ensure that it has First Strike or Trample, as well as having an Umbra package to ensure even if Trelasarra does die, because you don't have a protection spell handy, the creature doesn't die and the aura just falls off. In order to make the most out of the Soul Sisters package, you want to play a high number of creatures. In this deck, here are some of the best 1-mana mana dorks that can actually accelerate your mana base as well. They also play a key part with Well-Wisher, as Well-Wisher taps to gain 1 life for each elf on the battlefield. It's going to count for 2, at least, Trelasarra and Well-Wisher if they're on the battlefield, as well as any that your opponents have. Absence Pilgrim is not an elf, however, the fact that it does tap for white mana is just a good inclusion for the deck as well. After playtesting and actually playing a series of games, to me the strongest cards would be Armadillo Cloak, Weather the Storm, Lifelink. These are the best payoffs for life gain. They can be a surprise, and having that redundancy on Trelasarra while you're protecting it ensures it's going to keep growing. The Umbras are a great package that just are a way to make your opponents have to get through multiple layers of removal. The Rancor and Fists of Ironwood are both great sources of a trample as well. Fists of Ironwood adding 2 Saprolings also can trigger the Soul Sisters to create even more life gain off 1 enchantment, and it also gives trample, and Rancor just for that recursion. Shield of the Oversoul is probably the strongest enchantment in the deck though, second to Armadillo Cloak, being able to give Trelasarra indestructible and flying, so even more evasion through trample. After playtesting, I found that the best opening hand involves both colors of mana, 2 to 3 lands, as well as a permanent source of life gain through either a Soul Sister or a Johnny's Mantra, Pristine Talisman, an effect that you can use every single turn to grow Trelasarra, so you can also get that scry trigger to find more cards, and at least 1 to 2 protection spells. So that is how I built Trelasarra for pEDH. When creating the list, my goal was to maximize how quickly I could grow Trelasarra with redundant life gain triggers, while also ensuring there's plenty of effects to give protection and evasion to keep her alive and to deliver the final blow. I am very happy with the results of the deck after testing in gameplay. The deck was fun to play and it showed its potential consistently.
Yeah. And now also if these are something you're interested in, seeing more deck tags of decks that we played on the video, be sure to let us know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to like, subscribe, and yeah, join us next time where we will find out who will achieve greatness at any cost.